Okay, completed the inspection of the unit now and back in the van, so just a quick summary. Overall the unit appears to be fine, from a structural point of view. It is dated with the fit out to the interior, and bathroom ideally should be renovated. The kitchen is an aged detail, and certainly the interior of the dwelling would need preparation prior to future redecoration. Ceilings with the vermiculite spray have been exposed to humidity over the years, and that has contributed to some sagging and movement of the ceilings, and you do have cracks to cornices and the like. Difficult to sort of repair without scraping back all that vermiculite and getting back to the original gypsum plasterboard or fire check. All in all, pretty much what you see is what you get. Obviously the complex itself, there are various maintenance details. I've highlighted some of those in the video, so view the video. A lot of information in that video, and then any questions, just get back to me and ask me those questions. Unit to be inspected is located in a complex of units. The complex of units is located on the northern side of the street, facing south for the purpose of the report. The land in general is pretty much level, and it is a brick structure with the concrete tiled hip roof detail, concrete suspended slab floors between the units, and then you've got your roof void above. Concrete driveway. There is a steel crossover of the council nature strip. Some repairs have been carried out to the concrete driveway. Obviously drains have been replaced, or stormwater drains have been replaced at some time in the past. Certainly cracks to the concrete, various areas that have settled, and there are a few trip hazards that do exist. Fencing along the eastern boundary all appears to have been replaced. At the base of the fencing is these timber sleepers. The timbers are in direct contact with the ground. They will absorb moisture over time. Once they start to absorb moisture, they will decay and become susceptible to the likes of termites. Mailboxes to the southern boundary detail, and you've got your bin enclosures, a electrical transformer of the grid located within the boundary of the property. Repairs to brickwork have been carried out in the past to the front of the property. Some repointing of brickwork and the like has been carried out for whatever reason. Downpipes and guttering appear to have been renewed, and downpipes are connected to a stormwater dispersal system. Looking at the exterior of balcony details, or the concrete, certainly see some spalling has been occurring. Some repairs have been carried out over the years, and spalling is likely to continue, or localised areas of concrete cancer. And obviously repairs will be needed from time to time, pretty common in aged buildings. Underside of the suspended concrete does have the necessary drip lines, which is an indicator of correct construction. Some vents to rear of garage details that are located on the ground level. Some of those areas have been broken into, or the blocks are damaged and repairs are needed. In general, all units have aluminium windows. The common areas of the staircases have timber windows, and those timber windows are weathered to the exterior and ideally should be painted. As a rule of thumb, painting should be carried out once to external details once every 8 to 10 years. Main electrical switch room is located to this western side. The door is locked and I can't get in there. Fences along the western boundary also appear to be quite okay. Some of the posts may just need a little bit of realignment. Again, there's the timber sleeper at the base of the fence detail, and that timber is susceptible to the likes of termite attack as such. Tiled entry to the first stairwell along this western side. Tiles, a little bit rough, but overall appear to be serviceable. A couple of areas where the masonry has been absorbing moisture over time. Obviously there'd be voids under these areas that are inaccessible. Timber fascias, certainly a bit of decay and weathering, and those details will need preparation prior to future redecoration. Gutters all need to be cleaned periodically as part of general ongoing maintenance. On the swan's necks of the downpipes, you do get birds sitting in those areas, and there's a bit of soiling around those details. Common path areas within the complex as settlement has occurred, or areas where tree roots have grown in girth and lifted pathways. Those areas do present a bit of a trip hazard and ideally should be repaired in an appropriate manner. Wherever there are stumps of trees, always, the concern is that those stumps will attract termites as part of the natural decay process, and it would be best to have them all ground out in an appropriate manner. Along the base of the walls, below the damp course, there is a bit of fretting of brickwork where moisture is absorbed simply from the ground. In years to come, some localised repairs may prove necessary. Where concentrations of salt are a little bit higher, the fretting is a little bit more significant. Under these entry details or stair details, obviously there's a void that doesn't breathe, and we see some of those fretting bricks where moisture is evaporating through that brickwork over a prolonged period of time. In the rear yard, there's a few just screening sections of fencing to sort of close off the laundry areas. Downpipe to the rear of the property is just free flowing to the ground and not connected to a stormwater dispersal system. Around the base of that downpipe, we see a little bit more efflorescence in the brickwork below the damp course, where that moisture has been evaporating from the masonry over time. A few repairs have been carried out to this northern side of the building as well. Into the rear yard, the northern boundary fence, more of an age detail, but certainly appears to be serviceable, and there is some sort of stormwater dispersal at the rear. Quite possibly there's some sort of easement running through the rear of the property, whether it's a stormwater easement or a sewer easement. I'm not able to determine that, and you might be able to pick that up on sewer diagrams. Roof detail observed from a distance appears to be quite reasonable. Obviously I can't get up onto the roof in such a common property, and I'll be inspecting the interior of the dwelling as such. Timber posts in the rear yard, certainly evidence of decay where those timber posts have been absorbing moisture from the ground over a prolonged period of time, and that causes decay and deterioration of those timbers. Timber retaining walls or sleepers to the yard. Again, timbers in direct contact with the ground will naturally be absorbing moisture from the ground. As they absorb that moisture, they start to decay and deteriorate, and once they start to decay, even if they're treated timbers, they become susceptible to the likes of termites. Large sections of this eastern fence detail is concealed by plant overgrowth. So the garages appear to generally have had the roller shutters replaced. Just outside the garage details is various surfaces coming down from the units above. Some instances you see where have been exposed to a little bit of moisture, but in general these details look to be quite okay. Nice and easy for a plumber to access to clear any possible blockages. With these stormwater pits in the driveway, very important to clean the base of the pits from any silt build-up, and that is something that needs to be maintained by the body corporate. Downpipe along this eastern side, a bit of impact damage. Also, just near the entry, some repairs have been carried out to brickwork, or repointing of brickwork has occurred. Right up the upper level to the northern stairwell, there's no gutter detail, and the timber fascias are certainly weathered, and ideally those timbers should be painted up to prolong the durability of such details. Again, just looking at the edges of various balcony details, a bit of spalling, repairs have been carried out, so obviously the body corporate has been on top of those sorts of details. Second entry detail, once again lacking gutter up on the top tiled roof detail. timber fascias really do need to be redecorated in those areas. Access is always going to be difficult. Lower roof void and no bodily access going into that area, and there is the potential for faults to go undetected to inaccessible areas. Antenna fitted to the roof of the complex, more than likely just a common antenna that supplies all the units. To the unit on the first level, right to the southeast corner, we see some extensive cracks to the brickwork, and localised repairs to those details probably will prove necessary. So, like they've carried out repairs to brickwork on lower levels in the past, quite possibly some of that brickwork will need to be dismantled and repaired in an appropriate manner. And obviously that would be a cost to the likes of the body corporate or strata. Stumps, once again, stumps commonly attract termites as part of the natural decay process, and that has been the case in this instance. We can see that there's been a bit of a history of termites around this area. Inevitable that you will have them in these locations. So a really good idea for the likes of the body corporate to actually get those stumps ground out and reduce the overall risk of termites. Roof detail to the western side really can't be seen from the street, obstructed by all those trees when I try to view that from a distance. Looking at the roof detail from this to the eastern side, we see that there is a rotary extraction fan or whirlybird fitted to the roof line, a couple of sky domes, a couple of penetrations through the roof. With the penetrations, always those areas have the potential to sort of develop leaks at some time in the future and may need some periodic maintenance, so to speak. Garage of the inspected unit is the northernmost garage to the ground level of the complex. Garage detail, concrete slab on ground. Very common for some shrinkage cracks to occur to such a concrete detail. Single skin brick walls. Concrete soffit generally appears to be fine. There is an electrical light in this detail. I haven't seen an electrical switch as such, but certainly the light is in working order. Just the rear of the garage, there's a bit of an offset, quite possibly a tradesman's toilet or a storeroom in that detail. You've got the open vented bricks to the rear of this detail. A lot of stored items located within the garage, partially obstructed visual inspection at this time. The roller door, just manually operated, as I said before. All those roller doors have been recently replaced and they are generally a new detail. Entry lobby, just some of the tiles to this detail are delaminating. Eventually, obviously, that sort of thing would need some degree of repair. Timber door to the to the stair lobby. It is the access to the unit is through the northern stair lobby. Generally appears to be serviceable. Whether the glazing is anneal glass or safety glass, I can't determine that. It should have safety glass fitted. Anneal glass simply breaks into shards. Shards can cause lacerations, and hence, if there is any breakage, always should be replaced with safety glass, be it laminated or toughened. To the northern side of the lobby, we've got cracks that do appear to have been repaired. Quite possibly there's a shower on the other side of this detail, and we've got some moisture coming through. Drummy render details, those sorts of details may need some future attention. The vermiculite to the soffits of the concrete, plenty of scratch marks where people have been bringing in furniture and the like over the years. Looking at these timber windows to the western side, you certainly see the weathering of the timbers, and that's partly because of condensates that just run down the windows into those timbers, and the better they keep those timbers properly sealed, also to the exterior, the more durable those details will be and cheaper to maintain in the longer run. So again, we get the walls with the damp and a drummy render occurring, as quite possibly that's the bathroom details or laundry details within the units, all the same. Inspected unit has a new fire door, and that fire door is fire rated. However, the frame itself has no fire rating to the frame. It should have had a fire rating to the frame and to the door, something to highlight towards the body corporate. So the inspected unit is to the western side. It's the second unit from the northwest corner to the upper level. Concrete slab floor with carpeted floor coverings or tiled floor coverings. Hall detail generally appears to be okay. It is, the walls obviously have blemishes and do need preparation prior to future redecoration. Smoke alarm fitted the ceiling of the hall. I've not tested that smoke alarm at this stage. Ceilings, they are coated with vermiculite. However, these ceilings have been exposed to a lot of humidity over the years, contributing to sagging and the cracking of the various details. And really, those details will need preparation and redecoration. Because of the sagging of the ceilings, obviously we get the cracks and the like occurring, and it is under that suspended or that open roof void that also gets quite warm and humid. Bathroom detail is a dated detail. We've got shower recess, toilet, bath and vanity. Tiled flooring. There is actually a visible floor waste and or floor drain. The side of the bath has vents fitted. They are beneficial. When you fill the bath with water, those vents do allow for a bit of that condensate that forms to the exterior of the bath to sort of vent off. The other issue you get with the bath is when you fill it with water, you get expansion of the rim of the bath. That eventually breaks the seal around the surrounds of the bath. Once that seal breaks, moisture can drop down the rear of the bath and cause concealed issues. Vanity unit, dated detail, water flows fine, but once again exposed to a fair bit of humidity over the years, causing swelling of the shelving and the like, and it is wear and tear at the end of the day. Toilet itself, stable, functional, drainage is good, no cracks to the porcelain, just the toilet seats loose, and there's no leaks to any of the plumbing. Just a couple of tiles have delaminated, sourcing similar tiles for repair, obviously going to be difficult. Shower recess, evidence of moisture penetration to the surrounding areas, really does need a reseal. You can see that moisture's got into the metal frame of the door frame of the bathroom, caused swelling, rust, and repairs. Those details are obviously also necessary. So the door of the bathroom is binding and needs to be eased and adjusted accordingly. Also, the bottom of the door has not been painted, so you get the swelling along that at the base of that door where moisture has been absorbed into the door detail over time. So because of the bathroom being the first door to the western side of the hall, the bathroom details are all exposed to these walls within the stairwell, and as we came up the stairwell we saw all that moisture in the walls. That's from the various units that have leaking shower recesses and bath details. The bedroom to the bathroom has a gypsum plasterboard ceiling. We get peeling paint. That's partly because there's no extraction fan to remove humidity out of the bathroom, and as the ceiling linings absorb humidity over time, you get that deflection and deterioration of the paintwork, cracks to the cornices and the like. Very important to actually keep the bathroom properly ventilated. Do have this sort of service riser. A piece of gypsum has been glued in place, and that's the service riser that would serve pipes, drains to the various details. Just with the bath detail, there are a couple of chips to your cast iron or enamel finishes in this bathroom. So in general terms, wouldn't be a bad idea to consider remodelling or some sort of upgrade to the bathroom detail in the future. Bedroom to the western side, walls generally appear to be okay, ceilings still reasonable. You do get those cracks, you do have a little bit of sagging because of exposure to humidity over the years, but rendered walls themselves certainly appear to be serviceable. Yeah, not easy to paint these types of ceilings simply because they absorb so much paint, they get so heavy, and then that can cause collapse as such. There does appear to be areas where some repairs to cracks to masonry walls have been carried out at some time during the building's long history. Aluminium windows, aged details, marked surfaces, but generally functional. They may need new wheels as part of general ongoing maintenance, quite typical for that type of detail. Second bedroom again, pretty much the same as the first. Rendered walls, cracks to the cornices, ceilings that have deflected over time, coated with vermiculite, and yeah, generally appear to be serviceable. The ceilings themselves, they're going to be difficult to sort of get them nice without actually dropping the ceiling and replacing it. Lounge room detail also appears to be quite okay. Carpeted flooring, obviously the carpets are worn, stained. Ceilings, vermiculite, again been exposed to that humidity, you get the little bit of sagging, contributes to the cracks of the cornices and the like. Aluminium window to the western side appears to be okay, and we've got a door to the balcony to the western side as well. A little bit of weathering to the timber, always important, any of the joints of the timber to keep them well sealed so you don't get the moisture being absorbed into or wicking into the grain of the timber and the associated decay. Also condensate coming down the internal side of the window also contributes to a fair degree of weathering. Sliding door towards the kitchen, yeah, needs repair. The rear wheel is off the track and that just needs to be repaired as part of general ongoing maintenance, not a big deal. Kitchen detail, vinyl flooring, laminated particle board benchtop, stainless steel sink, electric stove with the oven under the stove, no range hood detail over that stove. Vinyl flooring is stretched and yeah, eventually may need to be replaced. Water flow to the mixer tap, water flow's okay, no water hammer observed, mixer tap nice and sturdy and no leaks to any of the seals. Interface of the kitchen sink and the tiled splashback, very important to keep that well sealed so you don't get moisture dropping down the rear of the kitchen cupboards. A couple of these tiles are chipped and marked, yeah, due to ongoing wear and tear. Shelving under the kitchen sink has been affected by moisture from various leaks and condensate that has occurred over the years. The doors of the cupboards certainly need to be eased and adjusted as part of general ongoing maintenance. Laundry detail has had the door removed and the doors just being stored within the laundry. Vinyl flooring, there is a visible floor waste or floor drain to that laundry detail, again needs a bit of a clean up, some marked surfaces. Within the laundry we've got a laundry tub. I couldn't test it because of the stored items located in this area. A little bit of rust to the base of the laundry tub. Hot water unit, 50 litre capacity, located within the laundry. The date of manufacture has not been determined. The laundry itself contains the washing machine, plumbing for the washing machine. There is no dryer in this instance. Normally within a unit a dryer needs to be also provided by the owner. There is an extraction fan, but it's not in working order, and that extraction fan has been ducted through this bulkhead, which is lined with gypsum plasterboard, out to the exterior of the building. Looking at the ceilings in the laundry and to the kitchen, they do appear to have been replaced at some time in the past. They're not the same vermiculite that we see elsewhere in the dwelling. Electrical board is located within the laundry, ceramic fuses in this case, and there is no earth leakage or safety switch installed. We can see where one of the fuses is burnt out and burnt the metal surrounds. Worthwhile getting an electrician to fit a safety switch to such a detail as a matter of good practice, usually under $500. Just some of these timber details within the kitchen just need some localised improvements. So looking thermally at the various details, not getting significant thermal inconsistencies to the areas of the kitchen or the ceilings or into the laundry detail. We see that the hot water unit is functional and serviceable. Looking thermally through the lounge detail, certainly no thermal insulation over parts of the ceiling lining. Some parts do have thermal insulation. Where there's no thermal insulation, those sections of the ceiling are more prone to possible condensate. Looking through the hallway, once again, areas with thermal insulation, areas without. Really looking at these details, no significant thermal inconsistencies observed to these areas. The second bedroom, also nothing overly significant. In bathroom detail, we see those areas of moisture penetration to the surrounding areas, and repairs or reseal of the shower recess obviously necessary. Balcony to the western side of the inspected unit generally appears to be serviceable. It is just exposed concrete with the topping, and the topping obviously has cracked due to exposure to the heat over many years, and a recoating may be considered, or retiling of such a detail. These soffit linings generally appear to be okay. Certainly see that they're not getting clean. We've got plenty of spider webs. A real good idea to wash the exterior of this section of the building once every 2 years and repaint once every 8 to 10 years. Where we've got the brick walls coming out, or the screen walls between the two balconies, you do see a bit of moisture has been coming down those walls over the years. Certainly worthwhile considering putting a section of capping over the top of that brickwork. The white is where the walls have had the moisture evaporate from that brickwork over a prolonged period of time. Other than that, a few cracks above doors where slamming has occurred, and quite possibly a little bit of corrosion occurring to the lintels, but all in all appears to be serviceable and quite reasonable. Here and there, not a bad idea just to get some repointing of various details to the external walls. As a matter of good practice, the sooner you do such maintenance, the less damage occurs in the long run. Glazed door out to the balcony detail, once again quite possibly a nil glass. It's certainly worthwhile considering replacing that glazing with the likes of safety glass, be it toughened or laminated, and the exterior of the door ideally should be painted up to prolong the durability of that detail. Kitchen also has an extraction fan. That extraction fan has damage and probably needs to be replaced in the future, currently not in working order. And the likes of fly screens, really only the kitchen has, there's a couple of fly screens on the bedrooms and the kitchen, none on the lounge room. Age details, again, replacement of fly screen material may prove necessary from time to time. Aluminium balustrade, nice and sturdy. They've obviously replaced those throughout the complex. Common area in front of the inspected unit. Smoke alarm fitted, and access opening up into the roof void. So coming up into the roof void over the common stair area, certainly see where those ceilings have deflected away from the ceiling joists over the years. And that's simply because of exposure to humidity and moisture over many years. Causes the ceiling linings to buckle out. Sarking to the underside of roof tiles obstructs visual inspection of roof tile battens and the like. So in general, the roof void of the inspected unit is protected from the roof void of the western unit to the west of the inspected unit, but nothing to the units further down or further towards the south. Within the roof void, thermal insulation obviously obstructs visual inspection to a degree of various roofing timbers, and faults could potentially go undetected. What you can't see, whether it be the roof framing timbers or top wall plates and the like. Where there is no thermal insulation, certainly see accumulation of dust, and one may consider, as a matter of good practice, just vacuuming out the roof void. Not absolutely necessary, just an indicator that it would be nice. Overspray of that vermiculite has come up towards the roof void, and that is because the cornices are actually made up of the vermiculite and not a section of gypsum plasterboard. Now with that vermiculite, it is sort of a fireproofing type material. So with the thermal insulation, redistribution and addition of thermal insulation ideally should be considered. Some timbers, all the timber hangers have been chipped. Yeah, it may be in appearance similar to termites, but in this case it's not. So the areas over the lounge and kitchen area, just lacking thermal insulation along the edges. Really, somebody's put it up, but not as efficient when you sort of leave out such large areas. In the common roof areas, there's a couple of birds' nests that have been in this area. Always a risk of birds, lice and the like. The body corporate should have all that sort of stuff cleaned out. Okay, as a quick summary, the unit serves its intended purpose. The fact is people are living in the unit and should be able to do so for some time to come with all reason. Here and there are various details that do need attention, and you've got to take them in context. Probably the biggest expense would be refurbishment or renovation, remodelling of the bathroom detail. Certainly something to take into account. Kitchen could do with some improvements. There's various doors that need repair as part of general ongoing maintenance, and the overall complex obviously needs ongoing maintenance on a regular basis. In the grounds of the complex, there's a stump. Found some history of termites in that stump. Pretty common in these areas. I wouldn't be overly alarmed about that particular detail. Generally, the building itself being primarily a monolithic structure, meaning concrete slabs, brickwork, there's not a lot for termites to eat until such time as they get up into the roof void. You've got to take things in context of what they are. It is an aged building, and obviously top dollar's not spent on maintenance in these buildings out here. With the video, really good that you can refer back to various details, look at them again and again, utilise the video, share it around with friends, colleagues and the like, get their feedback as well. It's really quite valuable, and you can also pass it on to trades or agents or the like if need be. As a summary, word of mouth is always appreciated. And I wish you the best with the rest of the purchase process. Obviously, any questions you may have, get back to me, ask me the questions, and the idea is that you are knowledgeable about the property that you're looking at.